Welcome to this video, everybody. Doug Bear here. I appreciate you being with me. Bit of a breaking news story that came out early this morning. Bishop Joseph Strickland apologizes for closing churches during the recent pandemic that we had in our world. Now, this is it's quite a statement to be made by a bishop to actually publicly apologize for something like this, and he's doing it in response to something that was put out on X by Eric Sammons. And we'll get to that in just a moment here. But as you can see here, Bishop Strickland apologizes for closing churches. He says he was duped. And I was fortunate enough to get a phone call with him just a few moments ago, just hung up a little bit ago from talking with him about this. And he just said to me, Doug, you know, this is what they've done. They've manipulated truth. They have, in effect, they've clouded the issue to such a degree. And when I asked him if he felt this was it or if more was to come, I think he said, well, he didn't, I know he said, I think we all know. I think we all know this is probably just the beginning of this. He says, you do not need to be a prophet. You don't have to have prophetic insight or some revelation from God to realize where we are with things. He said, now is the time for us to take the steps while we have the time, while God's given us this window of grace. We have a window of grace here, everybody. And Bishop Strickland said to me, we have this opportunity right now to get ourselves in line with God, take the steps that are necessary to get better prepared when it comes to, especially to that spiritual aspect. And we have to make sure that we don't waste this time. Now, this is something, again, that he put out as a response to a tweet that came out on X by Eric Sammons. You can see the tweet up here on the screen. And what this is Eric Sammons, who is a Catholic writer, blogger. He is also the Crisis magazine editor-in-chief. And he says in here, I wish our bishops knew the spiritual blessings that would be unleashed on the church by a simple and sincere public apology because of the public closing public masses during COVID. And his response, as you can see clearly right there, Eric, I offer my apology as you have requested. I was duped by the media hype and should have been stronger. Let us pray for all shepherds to have stronger supernatural faith as we face more challenges in the future. May Christ be our light in whatever darkness we face. Now that's powerful. He's a spiritual leader. It's a spiritual leading moment for the church when someone does something like this. But again, as I said to you when I talked with him on the phone, he was very adamant about the importance of us taking advantage of the time that we have right now. So this is something that is kind of unfolding. We're hoping to get him on for an interview, for a video, a webinar, maybe later in the week is what we're aiming for here by September 13th. Right now, we're in the middle, if any of you are not familiar with the middle of our BR Coalition Open, I encourage you to go out to brcoalition.com/enroll. We've got a great discount on our preparation courses and all the different stuff that we offer with BR Coalition. What we've done, by the way, is we've taken everything that we offer in BR Coalition, and I mean everything, and we've lumped it into a big package with a great offer. And we've done this because very much in light of what's going on in the world, and it lines up very, very well with so much of what's happening on supernatural and natural levels. We all see the signs, just like what Bishop Strickland said to me. You don't have to be a prophet to realize what's going on right now. We wake up in the morning, the sun could be shining, the grass could be green, your kids might be going off to school and everything looks good. You got a high school football game coming up this weekend. Maybe your college football team won last weekend. Actually, mine did, Nebraska. They beat Colorado. All right, so we've got these great things going on, and it's very easy sometimes to forget what's really going on, not even just under the surface, but even out in the open. And this is, again, in reference to what Bishop Strickland did by apologizing for not being strong enough, he says. We need to be praying for our spiritual leaders. I asked him when we talked this morning, I said, Bishop, what are your thoughts with regards to people understanding the importance of praying for our spiritual leaders? And this is what he said to me. He said, Doug, I don't think people fully understand the importance of praying, let alone to actually go to God on your knees and beg him for good spiritual leadership. He said, people just don't seem to grasp fully the gravity of what's happening. Now, paraphrasing a little bit there. But in essence, he said, I don't think people understand the importance of even praying, let alone for spiritual leaders. Because I said to him, you know, I was growing up, you say a prayer for the local priest, you say a prayer for your bishop, you kind of check that box, you throw that in there, you throw it in over here. Yeah, I prayed for the priest. I said a Hail Mary for him. And he's saying, look, we've got to deepen that. And so we want to encourage you, be our coalition. That's all we really try to do, is encourage people to get better prepared spiritually and naturally. And so we wanted to bring this out because this is something that is very pertinent for our times right now. And if we can get this message out to people, share videos like this, share this information with other people. What Bishop Strickland did, and as I've gotten to know him more and more, and again, you see in this tweet here, Eric, I offer my apology as you have requested. There's a humility in that is just unbelievable, if you ask me. I was duped by the media hype and should have been stronger. Now, what I see in there is, number one, the fact that he's saying to Eric publicly, as you have requested. Because Eric is right. I mean, imagine the spiritual blessings. I just don't know that we can understand what God will do to bless leaders and those who follow those leaders when they humble themselves before God and before others in the right and appropriate way. And I think the bishop has done that here. I was duped by the media hype and should have been stronger. We could all say that. Every time I go to the confessional, I walk out, I should have been stronger. Let us pray for all shepherds to have stronger supernatural faith as we face more challenges in the future. And again, let me remind you what the bishop said to me when I said, where do you think we are, with everything happening in the world? And he said, I think anybody can see this is just the beginning. They're not going to stop. There's so many things we can point to in society to make that very obvious, clear point that we see the fact that this assassination attempt against former President Trump and all the information that's come out looking like it's much more of an inside type affair or job. We see all of the attacks that go on, the smear campaigns. And I know this has been in the nature of man from the beginning. Cain killed his own brother Abel. But let's really get to the heart of it. What a lot of the effort going on right now is all about is about manipulation and control on a global scale. It's much more about a depopulation, as many have talked about, even the revelations that have come out from heaven, that there is an effort to destroy, tear down, depopulate, rewrite, reshape the Catholic faith even. And there's a lot of evidence to that as well at the highest levels. So what we want to encourage you to do, be our coalition, of course, is be as prepared as you possibly can on every level. Again, I want to reference again one more time, beourcoalition.com/enroll. Go check it out right now. We took everything that we have. We put it into one package, dropped the price dramatically. It's only until September 13th, Friday, which is the anniversary of the second to last apparition of Our Lady of Fatima. Don't go anywhere without Our Lady of Fatima. But we want to be offering to you this package so that you can take every step possible to be prepared spiritually and naturally. And that's what Be Our Coalition is all about, is natural and physical preparation. I want to be in shape. I want to be healthy. I want to be strong. I want to be looking at the things in the world and recognizing them for what they are, see the trajectory of things, and respond appropriately, because there's a lot at stake right now. So please go out to beourcoalition.com/enroll. Take a look at the package that we have to offer here throughout the rest of this week, and share this information with others. Give other people the chance to know what's going on. Let me start to wrap this up by again emphasizing what Bishop Strickland has done. He has shown us clearly, and I want to emphasize this too, for those of us who are heads of families, those of you who are the head of any community, a parish priest, father of a home, look, there's something to be said for the humility of acknowledging, yeah, you know what? I got to make some changes. I got to toughen up. I got to get stronger. I got to put things in order in a better way. I got to get myself in the confessional. I got to start fasting more, eating better, exercising, praying more, get that scapular around my neck, and make sure I don't go anywhere without that blessed rosary. Make sure that I'm grasping those weapons that God gives me, but also that I have the food, water, shelter, medical, and defense to take care of my family. But it's very, very powerful for a leader, especially with what we've seen here with Bishop Strickland, to humble themselves enough to acknowledge publicly, yeah, you know what? Wasn't as strong as I should be. It's not going to happen again. And he said to me on the phone, and he wouldn't mind me saying this, because I asked him, you okay if I bring this up? He said, absolutely, Doug. He says, you go ahead. He said, they're going to have to shut me down personally to get me to shut up. They tried to fire him, kicked him out of the diocese in Tyler. All right, that's my diocese. That's where I am right now. But they haven't silenced him. In fact, he's gotten a bigger platform now, in the sense that people are acknowledging more and more what's going on. He had just gotten back from a rosary rally that was put on, and by high school students, he said. High school students put this rosary rally on. Over 1,000 people, I think he said, were there. And he said, I have hope because people are waking up. Now, what we do, though, when we wake up is up to us. But he says, I have hope because people are waking up. He says, I don't see people despairing. I see people acknowledging what's happening and waking up. He recently wrote a letter, and we're going to be talking about this in the interview that looks like we're going to have with him before the end of the week here. It should be coming out on Friday. And he did talk about a little bit of that letter when I talked with him today. And in the letter, he mentions that it's time for us to open up really the mind and the heart and be aware of what's going on and respond appropriately and accordingly. So again, we've got a spiritual leader in Bishop Joseph Strickland, and he is echoing what the church has been teaching us for years, what the saints have said. He's echoing what the Blessed Mother has been saying. And he mentions that too to me in the phone call. Our Lady has made this clear to us, Doug. He said, we have every reason to realize what's going on in the world right now. So this isn't the end. There's going to be more to come, more manipulation, trying to lie to us. He said, be well formed in your conscience, he said. Be well formed in your conscience, pay attention to the signs of the times, and then we've got to respond accordingly. All right, don't forget to go out to brcoalition.com/enroll until the end of the 13th, the end of this week here. We've got this, it's the biggest deal we've ever offered, and it's because of what's going on in our world. We have to take this seriously. Oh, last thing Bishop said, coming months, he says, I have no insight with regards to revelation from heaven. He was clear about that. He's not claiming anything prophetic at all, but he said, look at the coming months. He says, this is not difficult to see. Coming months, we need to be taking advantage of the time that we have, because the coming months are going to show a lot with the direction we go in this country and throughout the world. All right, again, brcoalition.com/enroll. Amazing offer right now. Go check it out. Share this information with other people. Please share this video with other people. Let's wake up as many people as possible with hope, okay? Because hope is found when you have a plan of action in the face of a crisis. No matter how dark or crazy things get, if you've got a plan of action, spiritual and natural, you bring hope to not just yourself, but the people around you. God works through those things. So let's do that, all right? God bless and strengthen you all. Look forward to seeing you all again real soon.